So this is the famous Dendera Zodiac, and it's not the original, by the way. When Napoleon came to Egypt to discover the secrets of Egypt, he came with a team, and as they got to Denderah Temple, of course it was covered in sand, but they were able to come in here. He had an artist with him that saw this, and he went crazy, and he thought he could make a deal with the English, and he cut the whole square out, and he took it to England, and England said, no, we don't want it. So he ended up giving it to the Louvre. So it's now, the original is now in Paris, in the Louvre. But Egypt wanted it back, so what the French did is create another one to look almost like the original, and they did an okay job. But this is basically not the original, but I can still tell you what it means. So, remember when we were downstairs in the age of Capricorn and you saw Tauret? And you can see here is Tauret, and here you see is, it's actually Anubis. Anubis is riding something that we call the mare. It's called the plow, right? And the plow in Egypt was considered the beloved. Mare meant the beloved, and it was a tool for opening a path for the flow. It was an irrigation ditch, and it was also a tool for seeding, fertility. And so he's riding the mare to create an electromagnetic current that spirals out from the age of Cancer all the way out to create our perception of time and space. The calendar here starts in the age of Cancer because this is the moment we need to have a tool for measuring time and space again. And so it starts here. Now as we come out, you're going to see a lot of the figures that we saw in the first Hippostyle Hall downstairs. The one I like to show you is, let's see if we can find Osiris. Here he is, okay? Remember downstairs he was taking that first step and looking back. And here you see him, he's taking the first step. He's got basically, it's like a little bird here at his feet. Some people think that's Sirius, but this is Sothis, this is Sirius, just like we saw downstairs. This is the image of Horus with the double crown of Upper and Lower Egypt on the erect lotus pillar. This is Un, Nun, shadowless consciousness. He takes the first step. If you take these line to the center of Tauret's belly, and you take the erect pillar to the center of Tauret's belly, you have a 23.5 degree angle. This first step is when we fall out of balance. This is the falling of the axis. We fall into form. And so he begins the hero's journey in the night cycle, the other direction back into center again, right? So we spiral out. Now what's really fascinating is Anubis is also known as the embalmer, right? So the embalmer was responsible for putting the linens, the mummification linens. But here he is embalming us in an electromagnetic field, the veil of forgetfulness, right? The Earth's magnetic field. This is this is falling into form in a perception of time and space in a container, held within electromagnetic energy. When that falls, when the electromagnetic field falls, game over, we start all over again. Cycle within cycles within cycles.
So is it possible that Osiris is taking his first step after the cataclysm?
You betcha.
Oh, perfect.
Right on the money.
Perfect symbolism.
Right. Yes.
So that dates how old Osiris is.
Yes, absolutely. Here you see Leo right here. So cataclysm, right?
Right.
There's Leo.
Oh, there's Leo.
Yep.
Okay.
Here you have Sothis, Sirius. That's the matriarchal. This is shadowless consciousness. There's a moment where everything stops spinning. The magnetic field comes down, right? The earth stops spinning. And then we take our first step, we tilt again, and we begin it all over again.
Wow, that is the most profound explanation I've ever heard, Patricia.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful job.
Thank you, thank you.
Because who else knows stuff like this? I mean, Stephen Mailer gave a pretty good explanation, but nothing with the clarity and depth of what Patricia has just said.
Okay, and once again, now we're going down the other staircase at the Temple of Hathor.